The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They run with Pumphrey. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the run, it's Pumphrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, Charlie. So don't say nothing. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45.
From the gun, Cartwright. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Strong right, strong right, strong right. 4 down, check.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare 1st down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Trubisky's throw into the hands of Burton. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line.
Bears first down. First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Red, come. Get tight.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, 18. Here we go, G. Hey, Zeus. It's our time. It's our time.
Now Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Bears push further out in front. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Cartwright, and he finds McDonald. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Watch time. Magic. Stand up.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Break.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, exit. Y'all playing the wrong football. Hard. Shit.
Throwing again. Cartwright. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. I'm scared. Go on.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Cartwright. Being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. High throw, but the catch is made. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Trubisky. There goes a deep ball. End zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Results in a 4th down.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock. This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing again on second down. Trubisky. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second and 5 now. Trubisky looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Looking to throw on second down. Cartwright. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey, orbit.
From the gun, Cartwright. And that is incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Pulled in at the 24. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads would be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the slant.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Interception all day, baby.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Bring it. Alert 3.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now on 2nd and 13. Trubisky. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His second TD of the game and 16th on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point safely through, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Makes the score Bears 44, Steelers 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Go. 58, the money. No chance. Go. Snap.
Looking to throw. Cartwright. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Bravo. Rip right. 58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Hey! Let's see what you got. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right?
Back to throw. Cartwright. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Alert. Out.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Alvin Kamara. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the gun on third down. Cartwright nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Roquan Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And it's fielded at the 34. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off here to 32. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Trubisky will throw. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. So 2nd down. Still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. A 10th carry for Kamara. second down a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
It's a party now.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They begin the drive with comfort. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Hey, 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 hey. 58, right over there, right over there.
Throwing on second down. Dobbs. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now they can breathe a little easier. Some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
58, 58 to Mike. Switch up, switch up.
Yes, yes.
Go 58 to Mike. All day, baby, all day, all day, baby.
Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Cartwright nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Cartwright. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it. It's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And the Steelers getting another 1st down on a bit of a roll. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Alpha.
To throw again. Cartwright. Buying time to his left. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
At their own 20-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Crunch time, defense.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get your swerve on.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.